Hello, Ghana, and welcome to a new perspective. Charles Sam is my name. Interesting times, interesting moment. We must capture the moment, walking towards Ghana 60 and looking beyond that into the next 60 years, the next 100 years of Ghana. We sometimes can predict accurately what the future holds, but human learning has gotten to a point where, based on trends, information, errors, also based on our sharpened analytical skills, proper data, timely data, global data, not just Ghana data, global data, accurate ones indeed, for which our embassies and our high commissions should actually be gathering all these proper data and information, anything that will add to us, would have to be used for us to predict the future and take decisions that respond to the future and be very futuristic as a nation, working on not just the now but future possibilities as well, especially because we have a lot of young people around. And very cardinal, the president captures that in his speech. Let's still continue with the president's speech. Anyway, and today we're looking at science and technology development. Very, very crucial. And so I'll start off by making a statement the president made from his inaugural speech. So I'm sure by now you realize that this inaugural speech had a lot inside it, but just because of one mishap, we clouded the whole thing with a lot of other things. Not saying that's not important, has a certain basis, but the truth of the matter is that there are some things that never come back again. There are moments that if you don't capture, they get lost. And so we shall capture that. As a country, let us prioritize our focus on things. It's very important. Because at the end of the day, we have a country we are running against other countries as well. So that boat must keep continuing. That race must continue. We may have our internal issues to deal with, but we must prioritize them very well and not allow sensationalism and all kinds of other interests. The biggest interest, 60% of our public discussions, our newspaper reports, everything in the media, our discussions as a country must be on the bigger national objective, the bigger national goal, the bigger national perspective, the big agenda for the country, the development agenda, the one that is going to take us to major transformation, that is going to bring us the best of results, that is going to bring us best of cash, which all of us need, and all the expansion that we require, and things that will leave for our children's children as well. The president says that we must create wealth and restore happiness to the nation. I'm sure you know that. Money is a defense and the answer to everything. Not the love of money, but money is a defense. We can only do this when we have an educated and skilled population. Two things very important. An educated and skilled population, because these two things, education, relevant, rounded education, practical education, pragmatic education, relevant to the workplace, today's world of work. These things, and then also that, and also the skill. These two things, and especially moving skill from lower to middle level to higher skill level. I remember Malaysia, when it was transcending a certain point, okay, it had to move from the low level skill, low skill, on skill, but low skill, and then it moved on to middle level skill, and then also went to higher skill level. Okay, there's status, or there's a type of skill that's required of a middle income status country. We are one, and I think we should progress far more than that because we're actually behind time. So that these two things play very important. So education and a skill. Of course, skill acquisition requires some amount of education. But you see, these are things that are tied to a bigger economic development. And economic development is what will create wealth. So if you want more money, obviously you need to learn more. If you want more money, you need to acquire more skills. There are tons of people in our churches all over the country who are supposed to be tithing, who are supposed to be paying offerings, but haven't got and are there, should be given skill and education. And the pastors of our country need to make that their prime focus now. That should be the prime focus. I know a lot of you are involved in a lot of public spirited activity, but the prime focus for now, our nation's need is that our people must have jobs, especially the young people. Our people can set up small and medium scale businesses. So that should be our prime focus. So churches, and some of us, we know we've been given wrongly to churches, not based on sound principle or doctrine. So churches, you understand that we believe you, we've landed there, we're there. So make sure that we gather this. Get resource people to come there and come and help our people acquire some skill, acquire some knowledge, better their businesses, and we'll be moving on. So he says that the president says that that is what to make it is capable of competing in the global economy. He mentions the global economy. So it's not continue economy. It's not Bali. It's not a Kopong one. It's not Cape Coast one. But it's a global economy. Now he says that, and he says we must expand our horizons and embrace science and technology as critical tools for our development. I'll take that again. We must expand our horizons. Broadening horizon. Not kukwasi. Broadening horizon. And embrace science and technology as tools for our national development. Now, I like to break this down a little bit. And it's important that we take this very seriously. These are the points I would like to make about this, the President's call on developing science and technology. We must sharpen our focus on science and technology as a catalyst, same thing the President is saying, for our entire socio-economic development. Our entire, not some, agricultural, environmental, fisheries, anything, we must inculcate science and technology. It must become a focus. That is what innovation is all about. As a catalyst, kicking point. That should be the kicking point. That should be our jumping point. That should be our shooting part for our entire socio-economic development. The government's attitude to science and technology and the governance structure that it puts in place for it is crucial. So again, President Kufuor's call is also behoves on him to make sure that his governance attitude to science and technology and the governance structure is going to put in place because it is crucial to keep this whole game together for us to get the best of results as a country. Now, these must be intentional, determined, or there must be intentional and determined efforts to inculcate science and technology in our economic and social development setting. It's very important. It must be intentional, it must be deliberate, because if you sow pepper, you are not going to eat tomato, you eat pepper. If you sow the wrong things, archaic technology or archaic lifestyle, the 18th century stuff, cave mentality agenda, if you sow that, that is what you're going to reap eventually, and in tons of numbers. So that is very key. Understand that this is very key. Now, the other thing is that the role of educational institutions cannot be overemphasized. Those are the key. The places where our educational centers, where learning, teaching and learning is inculcated into our people. Teaching and learning in the 21st century is inculcated in our people. This is where we need to also emphasize on the role of that. It means that on our curricula, on our prime on the education agenda of all education institutions, we see the fact that innovation must come in, and innovation comes with science and technology development. So science and technology development must be on board. Ministry of Education, if there are grants, if there are special grants, private sector of Ghana, if you want to help, if you want us to move forward, because these people were outcomes of educational institutions are eventually going to come and work for you people or help you out or build our economy that you may need their service one way or the other. And therefore, we need to pump money into that. We need to create centers. We need to push corporate more with educational institutions. And we don't wait till the tertiary. Let us start from scratch. Science and technology is developed in a very exciting environment. We must let our young people know that it is a daily affair. It is life. It's all around us. It's nothing, no rocket science. It is around us. And we must use that to move on. Now, we cannot achieve our goal without developing the requisite human resource, which depends critically on education at all levels. Like I've said that already, at all levels. We need to ensure that is done. Ghana is faced with a broad array of challenges that require the application of up-to-date science, knowledge of technology. We need to access credible, independent science and technology research data and develop the capacity that will help us make informed policies and take effective action. The data is important. So we need to be able to have a situation, means that we need to fund these things. We need to make sure that the best stage is set for us to ensure that we have up-to-date scientific knowledge of technology. We need to make sure that we have access to credible, independent science and technology research data or research capacity. That would help us develop informed policies, because policy would have to come out. Policy should not be just an abstract or thought about it, looks good. No, it should be based on research, including business as well. I told you that business in Ghana is impacted more by practice than policy. So if you want policies to come out well, then there needs to be a convergence point between the business community and also the policymakers as well. Ghana cannot develop agriculture, ensure food security, and produce a surplus for export without a massive and sustained infusion of human and material resources from science and technology into agricultural production. Advances in science and technology have allowed society to mobilize new sources of energy, materials, fight disease, improve and diversify agriculture, mobilize and disseminate information, function as a player in the global oil industry, develop global and competitive service industry, transport, people, goods and services, and greater speed and safety, limit and also even develop proper structure of families. However, these technologies will not come through wishful thinking. My name is Charles Sam, and I've delivered you a new perspective. God bless you, and we'll catch you on the other side. It's a new Ghana.